Hey, do you play Bedwars? Sweet. Want some tips? I've been playing Bedwars for a while now, and today I'd like to share some of my favorite tips to help you play like the pro you are. So without further ado, let's begin with the early game basics. Once the game starts, the overall best strategy is to collect enough iron and gold so that you can afford chainmail armor and an iron sword.
I just need one more gold, bro.
It has been tried and tested that this is the best loadout for use throughout most of the game. And make sure you never buy a stone sword. The added damage is just not worth the waste in iron. After you're geared up for battle, it's time to protect the bed. All you should need for a good defense is wool. If placed carefully in a brick or cube shape over the bed, it provides excellent coverage that even sweats cannot best. Be careful not to center the cube though. The middle is usually the first place an opponent will search for your bed. Instead, you should have it somewhat offset like so. It will make your bed more challenging to locate. In my many years of experience, I have found this to be the most effective bed defense, and I've used it to win countless matches. Now that you have a beefed up base, it's time to start bridging. There are two main strategies I use when bridging from my island. First, we have the simple build and break technique. I find it easier to work with 2 blocks at once, but if you're in a hurry, you can also do 3. By using this method of bridging, you won't leave behind any path for intruders, thus thwarting all attempts at seizing your base. The second bridging technique is the standard flat bridge with endstone. I know you will be tempted to speed bridge, but unless you have time and iron to waste on dying, it's generally safer and quicker to build straight back while holding the crouch key. Using this method of bridging with endstone, you ensure your bridge cannot be destroyed using a fireball.
It didn't work.
See, that works.
This is great when you're up against campers, and especially useful in the late game.
Their partner.
Now that we have the basics out of the way, let's go on to the more advanced gameplay. For PvP, it is always best to crouch for the entirety of the battle. This reduces the knockback you take from your opponent and overall makes you a more difficult player to attack. Game Knights is especially good at this style of PvP, and it has helped him in being one of the most formidable players in Bedwars. Although crouch PvP is safe and effective, it's not always the best way to deal with an opponent on a bridge. For that, we use the tower strategy. That is, when you see an enemy approaching you on a bridge, I want you to look down and start building straight up. Your opponent might try and race you to the build limit. That's because they know that whoever gets there first ultimately has the upper hand and the highest likelihood of surviving the encounter. And with that, I'll leave you off with 2 more bonus tips. If you see your teammate doing something wrong, make sure you correct them. They might have forgotten these tips, and the best way to ensure your own success is by enforcing these practices among your peers. And finally, booby trap your bridges for an added layer of defense.
Oh, it worked! That gave me clutch, bro.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you share this video with the rest of your team.